Hello, my dear students. Today, which is our 8th class, we're going to study intermediate visualizations and processing of information. The first thing we have to do is to analyze the source database or database in order to detect or solve some problems we may find. So before any change of the source database, please create a Tableau file and import or connect the source database, as you already know, relating the tables as you already know too. You're going to find that there are some errors that are not suitable to be solved from Tableau. So what you have to do is to close Tableau again and to open the source file and solve those problems. Whenever you open the source file, you're going to find that there are products, and each product has a code which is going to be divided in three parts. The first part, the three first letters, are referred to category of the product, for example, technology, and the second two letters refers to the subcategory of the product. So what we are going to do is to first assign to the LT products table the codes of the ID of category and the codes of the ID of subcategory. Remember, we haven't worked those IDs. We just wrote down some IDs 1, 2, 3, 4, or an alphanumeric ID like SD1, 001 or something like that. Now we are going to use the real IDs and we are going to assign the IDs to that to each product. So therefore, what you have to do is to first assign the category IDs to the LT products table, including or using a function such as the one you can see here in blue, and that analyzes if there is or there are three letters that are equal to the three letters of the text of the category table for each of the um, categories. So what you are going to do is to bring the number corresponding to the ID of the category. Now, take into account that this is just part of the function. I'm not giving you the whole function. You're going to complete that function. You're going to look for the solution of that function, which is easy because it is an if, or in Spanish, si, and you have to analyze each product because each product has the three first letters for the category ID. So the fact is that you are going to analyze the three first letters. Let me explain. Equal C izquierda, which is going to take some part of a text or a number from A2, where it is the product ID, and take three letters from the left. Are they equal to izquierda in the LT category B2, which is the file and the row in which the codes start? So the B2 is the name of the category, and what we're going to choose is the A2, which is the number of the ID or the ID itself. And you have to develop the other part of this function. If you haven't learned Excel before, this is the time to learn because Tableau may bring, and most of the time brings, files from Excel, but it may bring files from any other program, and you have to try to unravel or to determine what functions you need to use in order to organize the information first. Now, whenever you develop the function, you have to take into account that this is just part of the function I'm giving you, but you may complement it to assign the ID category to each product, 1, 2, or 3, standing for furniture, office supplies, or technology, right? You have only 3 kinds of IDs in the LT category table, and they depend on the 3 first letters as I told you. The next step is to assign the subcategory ID, but first we are going to change the subcategory IDs that we have now, and we're going to assign them the real category ID, which is the second part of the product ID, the 2 letters in the middle. So what we are going to do is to use this function in blue. We are going to convert the 2 letters from the left of the B column into uppercase, and those are the letters that you're going to find in the product ID. Therefore, afterwards, you have to do something in order for the ID of the subcategory to be assigned in the LT products table, okay, which is our third step. And the third step is to you can use one of two functions. You may use buscarx or lookupx in English, or you can use an if or C function, and you choose what one do you want to use. In order for you to learn, I would use the second one, because even though it is a little more difficult or a little longer, and maybe not as suitable or as practical as the first one, it will help you to learn how to nest functions inside functions, in this case with C, and you are going to have 17 C's or 17 ifs into the function. It would be a nice exercise, but if you don't want, you can use the buscarx, which is a very easier way to find the ID of the corresponding 2 letters of subcategory in the product's code or the product's ID. And in this case, the buscarx is going only to use is only going to use the column A. So the matrix is column A, and the answer of that matrix is also column A. There is the function. If you want just to use it, you can do it. Our fourth step is to review. Never forget to review if there are mistakes or errors in the database, because sometimes you may bring the information to Tableau, but the information is not so well organized, or there are errors, or there are columns, or there are rows, or there is something that may not be suitable to bring it or to connect it to Tableau. So never forget to review this, and I included 3 in red, 3 intentional errors for you to look for them, but I give you a little help uh, coloring the name of the sheets in which there are errors, in order for you to find the sheets. Instead of looking into all the sheets, you're going to look into only the ones that are in red, okay? And you may find the errors. Please be careful to find those errors, because if you don't, the exercise we're going to do won't work, right? Whenever you make the changes and solve all those errors, open Tableau, import the source database, and let's start learning intermediate tools and processes to visualize information. What we're going to learn is, first of all, the difference between blue and green fields, as you have seen, and maybe you haven't realized really, um, that there are blue fields and green fields. The second difference is between dimension and versus measure fields, which means that we have um, fields that describe something and fields that present a measure, for example, numbers, or for example, IDs, or for example, well, an ID may be a dimension, but a measure may be quantities, or a measure may be prices, or something like that. The third thing we are going to learn is changing language of Tableau, which we are going to change in the help menu. Then we are going to learn filters, a little more advanced, or a little harder filters, and then data ordering, either calculated or manual. Then groups, which are very useful for us to get information, and hierarchies, which are very useful too. Then we are going to learn how to manage dates in a better way, because sometimes we need to analyze information according to parts of a date, not only the whole date. Okay, right. First of all, we are going to differentiate between green versus blue fields, and Tableau presents that data in a different way depending on whether the field is discrete, which is blue, or continuous, which is green. And continuous means that there is a range of numbers, unbroken whole, called that way. For example, the quantity average, which means that the average may be from one number to a lot of numbers continuously, right? Without being discrete. Discrete is, for example, 1, 3, 5, but quantity average may be with a lot of decimals and maybe continuous, or it is continuous. On the contrary, discrete means individually separated and distinct, clearly distinct numbers. For example, the quantity of products. The quantity of products sold is 1, 10, 1000, 300, 350, whatever. But it will never be like an average, which is continuously, which has a continuous line in which in any point may be a number. Okay, so discrete are blue and continuous are green. Now, let's talk about dimensions versus measure fields, or dimension versus measure fields. Dimension refers to something that is qualitative. For example, a name, for example, a date, for example, a geographical field, right? But measure refers to quantitative values, like, for example, um, the quantity itself, say, the price, the quantity of sales, and so on. So we have to differentiate between dimension fields. For example, a country is a dimension, but the sales in that country is a measure. Okay? Okay, and now I'm going to show you the Excel file in order for you to familiarize with the Excel file and what we are going to do with it. Right? Okay, this is the Excel file that you already know, and you have been working with it, I think, for classes. It is the orders database that we have been modifying and perfectioning in such a way that we understand it as a relational database. Many of the relational databases are not always organized. So we are going to, we have been organizing that database, and today we are going to um, assign the IDs of the products category and subcategory to the products. Remember, I told you that in the tables or the fact or LT tables that are um, colored in red, and there are mistakes or errors that you have to solve. Okay, what we want to do is to assign to the products the category and the subcategory. Whenever we go to category, we're going to find that we have three categories and three IDs, one for each category. And the subcategory, as we have worked with it before, we assigned any, I mean, an alphanumeric ID, which is not the correct one, because if you go to LT products, you're going to find that the first three letters are the category part of the product, and the second two letters are the subcategory of the product. The rest is a number of the product. So we have to, here in the LT products table, assign all the IDs, either category and subcategory. How we're going to do it? As I told you. So you're going to look for the three letters of these three categories, the first left three letters, and you're going to assign 1, 2, or 3 depending on the product and its three letters. And the IDs for category, first you have to convert these IDs into the three letters of each of the subcategories, right? And then these IDs, get them to the LT products ID subcategory column, depending on the second two letters of the ID of the product. Okay? Okay. I know you're going to be able to do it. Be careful, do it slowly, without any hurry. Don't leave this assignment for Monday afternoon, because it may be a little bit difficult. Okay? Right. Now we're going to see the following topics in Tableau. Okay, so our fourth point here is filters. So I'm going to bring the database I already corrected and assigned the IDs of category and subcategory to Tableau. Okay. Remember, we have to relate tables before starting working. Okay, so as I told you, you may drag the tables, or you may simply double click on each table, starting in order. For example, the main table is fact table orders. Double click, and it will bring it to the screen. Then there's the fact table orders. Double click. Okay. If you haven't corrected the database, the source database, you will receive an error here, and you won't be able to continue. Okay, I'm going to bring customers, cities, segments, shipping, categories, which is a mistake. This is a mistake. Why? Or an error? Because I have to relate it to the subfact table. Sorry, to the um, products table, which I haven't brought. So I have to bring it, right? The products. It won't let me keep working, so I have to take this table away first. Okay, this is an example of an error that I may find. So I bring first products, double click, it will work. And afterwards, I have to bring category and subcategory. Category and subcategory. Okay. Now what we can see, if we click on subcategory, is that, and we open this part of the screen, the lower part with this little triangle here, we're going to see that now the ID of subcategory are the two first letters of the subcategory name. And the ID of products, the category and subcategory of products are already assigned as 1, 2, or 3 for ID category and BO and so on of subcategory AC, AP, AR, BI, BO, etc. Okay, right. So Tableau understands that we are having a good relationship between those tables. Now we can start working. We're going to start working by analyzing filters. Filters are very important and very useful whenever you want to analyze information. So let's go for the first page, for the first sheet. Okay, and I'm going to bring, for example, the categories and subcategories. Well, I'm going to bring also from the subfact table orders the total sale in order to know how much we have sold of each category. And remember that I can or may change from rows to columns, right? The information, okay? And I may also bring more information to the table. So I'm going to bring the subcategories from the subcategory table, right? And I'm going to put it here. Okay. Okay. So now I have the total for each category and subcategory. I'm going to filter the information. So I can filter by many fields. For example, I can filter by category itself. So I'm going to bring the category to this part of the screen, which is filters. Okay, and Tableau asks me, what do you want? You want all of them or just one or two of them? I'm going to tell all of them. Okay, so here I have a filter and I'm going to make Tableau show filter here in the right part of the screen. So here I can choose all, or I can unactivate all, or I can choose only furniture and technology, right? Excluding office supplies. So the information is filtered by that filter. We have many ways of filtering information. Here in this little triangle on the right part, upper part of the filter, we have many ways, which are these ones: single value drop down, single value list, single value drop down, single value slider, multiple values list, which is the one we are using, multiple values drop down, custom list, and wildcard match. Let's explore all of them. Single value. So we're going to find that instead of little squares, we have little rounds. And if I choose one of them, the others are excluded. This is useful whenever I need to just see some part of the information, excluding all of them, instead of clicking on a square or many squares to exclude information. So this is what is called the single value list, which is with rounds. And each round or each little point excludes the others. Now, the single value drop-down is very interesting whenever you have many filters, as you may have. You may have 10 filters, for example. And here we have also excluding all of the rest. If you choose one of them, you exclude the other ones. But it is another excluding way of filtering. The third one is a slider. And so, as we have only 3, it is also excluding. So, click office supplies, click furniture, and back. So I can see one at a time. The next one is the one that is by default, which is the one that we almost always use, for example, in Excel and other programs. And we choose all, and we may exclude just clicking on the little square. Or we may say more than one. Okay, the other one is multiple values drop down, which is I can choose, but with a drop down button, let's say that way, I can choose some of them, all of them, or exclude, but closing the filter in order for whenever I have many filters, it is useful to have this kind of drop down menus. Okay, to choose all, I simply click on all. Now, the other one is multiple values custom list. And this one is used just to write down something. For example, furniture, right? And click on it. Okay, so I can use it to find many items that may be written in a certain way. For example, I may have many categories in other factories. For example, I don't know, metal toys. So I write metal, and metal toys are going to be shown, all of them. Okay, right. Now, wildcard match is used only to find some when you have a lot of information, it may be useful to find letters or whatever numbers or numbers with letters. Whenever you are not sure what you're looking for exactly, you may find this useful. Okay, all right. Now, we may filter information not only by the information I have in the table, but by many other fields, like for example, like cities. Let's see, I'm going to find cities here. This is what we call hierarchies that we are going to study later. And I open the hierarchy, which is not really a hierarchy itself in the, well, it is, but it is not order always. It's not always order in the hierarchy way or hierarchical way. Okay, I'm going to choose city and I'm going to bring it to filters. As you can see, there are many cities. It doesn't show them all selected. I may select one or many of them, not continuously, many of them, and click OK. So we are going to see the results for the total sale or total sales of each of the subcategories in each category for those cities. What cities? So I have to show show the filter in order to see what cities are selected. As you can see, there are many ones. Okay, okay. And I also may use any kind of filter, for example, a single value slider, which is not very useful in this case, right? But may be useful sometimes. But it is easier to have, for example, in this case, as it occupies a lot of space, if we use it this way, it occupies a lot of space, I may use this one. Um, no, sorry, this one, not, but the one, multiple values drop down, which may show me all the cities, but just in a one drop down menu. Okay, easier than, right? These are all the cities, and I may take some of them, right? Right. Okay, so in this case, this kind of drop down list may be more useful to get information instead of having it open or having a single value drop down. Okay, sorry, I'm not a single value, but a multiple values list. Okay, I'm going to use another. For example, I may ask for customer name, which is a long list too, and I'm going to select it all. Okay, maybe a little um, customer name short filter, and I'm going to take just Aaron, Arian, and Alan. Okay, or just one, Aaron Bergman, right? And I'm going to use multiple values drop down in order to see also the cities. So Aaron Bergman has no information for Auckland or Oceanside, and I'm going to choose all cities unless I know the city of Aaron Bergman. Anyway, I am using only Aaron Bergman, any city, and I am not choosing any category, but I am going to use the single value list for categories, and I am going to choose only office supplies for Aaron Bergman in any city. There are many customers that may be or may have business in many cities around the states or around the world. So maybe if I choose some specific cities, I may find that Aaron Bergman has some business there. Okay, so the fact is that we can filter by many items, either the same item I am looking for or items related. As you know, all of them are related through the relational database, so we can look for information. Now, if I want, I'm going to bring the total sale, in order to see it in a certain way. As I told you, a green fill is referring to quantities, while a blue fill is referring to qualitative things. Let's review again, and you must discrete is blue, and discrete means individually separated and distinct, but also green is continuous when there are numbers, and dimensions, in this case a dimension is a category or a subcategory, are blue because they are although they are not numbers, they are continuous in such a way that they may be ordered from A to Z, for example. Okay, now I am looking at the some as a continuous item, but I also may be able to look it as a discrete item, and what I am going to see is just the number, not a bar into a graph which is in a continuous, as you can see, from 0 to 800. Why 800? Because maybe the maximum value of all the subcategories quantities is 800, right? Anyway, this is a continuous, or a number which can be between 0 and 800, which is the same number, but when I understand it as a discrete number, it is going to say this is the number, exact number. Okay? Now, I'm going to use another filter. For example, I'm going to use, let's see, in fact table orders. I'm going to use the, well, let's see, shipping. Shipping. I want to know of all the items sold according to its category and subcategory, uh, what kind of shippings we are using. Show filter, and I want to have all customers and all cities, all categories, and I want to see what quantities we have sent by first class shipping type. And this is what we have. Total sale 92,000, and of course this is the total sale, but I may have, for example, well, the fact is that this in first class, let's see, in same day, as you can see, many people ask us for same day shipping type, but if I take the standard class, we're going to see that the sales sent, or the items sent, are many more than first class, same day, or second class. If I choose all, of course I'm going to get it all, and I may differentiate clearly if I bring the shipping type to, for example, the subcategory or after a subcategory. Okay, so first class, same day, second class, and standard class. As you can see, standard class is almost always the most used type of shipping. Okay, and it represents sales which are very higher, or higher than any other sale or type of shipping by sale analysis. So this may tell us that um, we have to keep very good, say, relationships and business and payments to standard class type of shipping companies, and we have to have options to send our items, because our items are most of all sent by a standard class shipping type. Okay, so this is the start of an analysis that leads us to make decisions, leads us to analyze that we have to be careful with the shipping type standard class, because most of our customers ask for those for that type of shipping. Okay, right. Thereafter, we're going to start making a story about the data in order to start developing more information, or getting more information to make decisions. just as an example I have, and as the example I have and told you about the shipping type. Okay, filters are very easy to manage, and we may have a lot of information. For example, I want to look for a specific customer. For example, I don't know, whatever customer at the end, Maria Setner. I can see that she has bought furniture, office supplies, and technology, and she is using first class and standard class most of the time, but also second class sometimes type of shipping. Okay, and it may be important for her depending on what she's asking for. Let's see, furnishing. She wants it to be let's say very cared for in order for the furnish to be in a good state or without any damage in transportation. And now let's see, I'm going to take all customers, and I'm going to see the category. For example, office supplies. What is the shipping type that most of our customers use when they ask for or they buy office supplies? First class in the case of appliances, 65,000, but second class 147,000, and standard class 303,000. And let's see, most of them are much more in standard class than in any other class. Okay, so it is important for us to understand how our shipping type and our customers are preferring one shipping type or another one. Okay, right. Now we are going to um, understand the next topic, which is data ordering, calculator, and manual. Let's see with this example we have. In every field you are using, you have on the top beside the title and a little icon which is a set, a set, a set, a set. And of course, you can manage ordering that kind of information by just clicking on that, for example, category, a set. So it orders the category according to the alphabet. Let's see. All right, click here, alphabetic. Okay, let's see, office supplies and because I have only office supplies. So I'm going to take all categories. Okay, now office supplies. Technology is the last one, so if I order it on the contrary or the other way around, set to A. First is technology, then office supplies, and then furniture. But if I click again there, furniture is going to be the first one. The same for subcategory. I am going to, of course, it is going to be ordered inside the category, not through all categories, but inside each category it's going to be ordered. Let's see. It is ordered a set. I'm going to order set A. So it's inside furniture is tables, furnishings, chairs, bookcases. Inside office supplies from S to A, appliances, and technology phones to accessories. The other way around also, bookcases to tables and so on. The chip type, of course, it may be ordered alphabetically. First, same, second, and standard. The other way around, let's see, standard, second, same day, and first class. Okay, the total say is also suitable to be ordered. So the lower to the higher to the lower. Okay, now in this case, this corresponds to total sale or is the same or corresponds. So if I order total sale, this is going to be ordered the same way. Okay, now this is the type of ordering which is called calculated ordering, because it is taken from the list that is already showing information. But I can also use sorting. For example, I want to see what are what is the category that is less from the less, I mean from the category that we sell less to the category that we sell most. Okay, so I'm going to take category and I'm going to sort it in a different way. Click, and we have many ways to sort it. The way we are seeing is data source order, which is the order that is in the database. Okay, as you can see, whenever you create a table, you are going to find that the order of the information is as the database order. Ascending or descending? Let's see, descending. So technology to furniture, or ascending, furniture to technology. Okay, now if I click clear, I'm going to get the information order as it is in the database. In this case, the same, but I have more things to order the information. For example, I can order it alphabetically, which is in this case the same, and I can order it by field. This is very interesting because I'm going to take a field, for example, by sales. Remember, we have all those fields. Total sale, and I'm going to do it descending. Okay, so I can see that technology is the category in which we sell less in terms of the quantity of money we get, and furniture, the second one, right? And I'm going to close the filter, and office supplies, the highest one. Why does it show it here at the end? Because I order it descendantly. Okay, as you can see, now we can find a little icon beside category indicating that we are filtering information, or ordering information, not filtering, ordering information in a certain way. I'm going to click again, go to sort, and instead of telling descending, I'm going to tell it ascending. So now we have the category in which we sell most in the first place. Okay, now I'm going to clear it, and it means that I finished or deleted that ordering, and category doesn't show anymore the little icon. I'm going to work with subcategory now, and I'm going to do the same. Show filter. Okay, what happens? Sorry, sort, not show filter, sort. And I'm going to take a field, for example, this field, again, total sale, and descending. So let's see, the standard class is the most used type of shipping. Therefore, as it is descending, it shows me the highest one in the first place. If it is ascending, the lowest one in the first place for all the shipping, the subcategories and shipping types into those subcategories. Okay, as we can see, let's see, almost all standard class is the most used, as we said before. Standard. Let's see if there is another one. Standard. Second class in supplies. Supplies, the first one is second class, the most used type of shipping. Standard, 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 standard. The only one is appliances. No, sorry, the second class, what was supplies? Supplies. Second class type of shipping is the most used shipping in supplies. Very interesting data. So we have to analyze it by ordering in such a way that it shows us within um, an item, in this case subcategories, what kind of shipping we are using most or less. If we turn it around, we are going to see the less, okay? Meaning that descending, right? Descending is from the highest to the lowest, highest to lowest, okay? So the highest is this one, and ascending. The lowest is this one, okay? All right. So remember, ascending is from the lowest to the highest, from bottom to top, and descending from top to bottom. Okay, right. Okay, I'm going to change total sale from the rows to column, let's see, in order to get another kind of information. Let's see, I'm going to eliminate that, and I'm going to take total sale to columns. That's it. So we have now a graph, and I want to differentiate between the sizes of, or the size of each column. How can I differentiate? For example, by colors. So I'm going to drag total sale to this little square, which is called color. Okay, so now we have a color to differentiate. The darkest and the higher, or the highest quantity of sales. But I can change, as you can see here, we have a new little square which shows us what color we are using. The lowest is clear blue and the highest is dark blue. I'm going to change the color. Click on the little triangle, edit colors, and we have an automatic palette, but we have many other palettes that we can use. For example, I'm going to use one of not only one color, orange, blue, diverging. Okay, as you can see, this is the color at the start and this is the color at the end, meaning that blue is the highest and this kind of brown is the lowest. I can change it. I'm going to say that, for example, pink is the lowest and blue is the highest. Let's see. Click, and there you are. Okay, of course there are many that may be or a very very faint pink or very very dark blue, like this one for example. Okay, now let's see some examples of this analysis we are doing. Standard class in technology fonts are, fonts are many or much of the time sent by standard class shipping, and it produces a lot of sales for our company. Okay, what did I do? I brought the total sales. I'm going to take it away. Okay, and I'm going to take it away too to understand how we put the quantities for each column. We can do it in two ways. The first one is to bring total sale to detail. Okay, sorry, detail no. To bring total sales. We're going to apply these little mark labels. So we have the values there. And we are going to bring total sales to color in order to use the colors we had defined before. Okay, we can change those colors. Again, edit colors, and we can change each color. I'm going to change the blue one for example, dark red. Okay, and I can also step the colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I can step more in order to differentiate in a more clear color for visualizing it way. Okay, so here we are. Differentiated much more the different values or the columns for different values. Right, now we can also change the format for these numbers. So I may click on one of those, right? Or I may click on the sum and go to format, and on the left of the screen we are going to find the default scale and title formatting. So let's see the scale. The scale, I'm going to use currency. I may use standard or custom, right? And without decimals. I'm not interested about decimals. But the default, um, let me see. I am using format here. Okay, I may shade it if I want. For example, this one for the total sales, but it is better to shade it. So here we have the scale, right? And the values that are represented by those scales. 0 to 200,000, 400,000, and so on. Okay, now let's look at this format. Let me see. Tooltip title, pan, header, pan, no, rows, columns. Columns, no, this is for colors, sorry. So, fact is that I may click here and with the other right click button of the mouse, go to format and go to format and go to, no, I'm so sorry. And I have to click here and to format and then go to pan. To pan in order to change here the numbers for currency custom without decimals. So I'm going to get the numbers with the corresponding money format. Okay. The other way I return to the numbers without money format is to click on the number, right? Clock or sorry, right button mouse, right mouse button, and format. And instead of formatting the field here, you can choose any of the items you are looking in the visualization. So I'm going to modify sum total sale, which is numbers, and this pen help us to change to currency custom, and that's it. Okay, now we have a lot of information and a lot of ways to see that information. Reviewing a little bit, I want to see just accessories, right? Accessories. And I want to see the shipping type only for first class, right? So we don't have just, we have just 100, 1001 for first class in technology accessories. And let's see for any city, for example, for Aberdeen. So we don't have any shipping first class type and the subcategory accessories for Aberdeen city. Okay, let's see. If I want to see the city, I just add the city to this one. So I'm going to close this pan by clicking on this X on the left part, upper part, and I'm going to bring the city. Of course, it is a lot of information I'm bringing. So I'm going to bring the city, for example, let's see here, here. Okay, so we have Allen, Aurora, Austin, Baltimore. Let's see, I'm going to choose one of them, city, for example, for Baltimore. So I can write, instead of looking for the list here on the upper part of that list, I can write Baltimore. Okay, so here is Baltimore, which is marked, and I'm going to click on it again. But first of all, I should have unactivate everything and then write Baltimore. Okay, and click on Baltimore. And that's it. This is Baltimore. Technology Baltimore Accessories First Class, $859. Okay, okay. Now, I want to unactivate the filters. So I can click here, Filters. In the triangle in front of filters, I can clear shelf. And every filter is gone. Or I'm going to undo. This is the undo button, different from any other softwares like Word or Excel. Undo, redo, undo, redo. I can unactivate one by one. For example, category, I can remove that filter, right? Or city, I can remove that filter, right? So we are going to see all the cities and so on, or I can remove all of them, clear shelf. Okay, right. Now we're going to study groups. Groups are very interesting because they help us to get information together, which may be not as significant if it is alone. For example, let's see. I'm going to go to another sheet and I'm going to take, for example, let's see, segments. Segments. We have three kinds of segments: consumer, corporate, and home office. And we are going to take also products for those segments. There we are. Well, I'm going to get it into rows. So we have, for consumer, this kind of products, right? And I want to see the quantity we have sold of each product for each segment. So I take quantity and drag it into the column beside. And as I can see, we have a lot of items that are sold, many of which may be only one or two. So I may group, first of all, I may order them, right? Like, let me see. First of all, well, I don't need a format now, but I may take the quantity to here and then order, as I can use this icon here, order from the highest quantity to the lowest quantity. And I can say, okay, I don't need products. I don't need to specify products less than, I don't know, 10. So I look for the 10 or less, right? Here we are, 10 or less, and I may click them, right, to group them, okay? Or I may sign on them, dragging my mouse over them, right? Of course, there are a lot of them. Let's see. Mm, okay. Let's suppose that I selected all of them. Of course, it is not so comfortable to select them here. We may have other ways to do it. And I'm going to um, clock or use the right mouse button. I used to, to, to call that button clock in order for us not to get mixed with the right and the left button. So from now I'm going to call it clock, right mouse button, clock. And group, right? Um, by product. Okay, okay. Now we have a group which appears here at the left and here at the right. Let's close the right one. Well, let's leave it there. And here we have the group, right? So I'm going to take all products here to take them away. And I'm just going to put products here, right? So we have a group of products that tell me that we have sold 1,813 quantity, right, of 1,813, because it is a group, right? When I click on the group, I can see, I can ungroup it, right? Or I can go here to look for my group, which is here, right? And I can edit group. And when I edit group, it is going to show me the group and the others, which are not the group ones. So I can click on this little triangle at the left of the name, and it is going to show me what products are inside that group, right? And I can rename that group, right? I'm going to click here and uh, less than 10. 10 or less. 10 or less. Okay, rename that one. And let's see. Okay. So now we have to have, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Products 10 or less. This is our new group, which is 10 or less. Of course, when I bring it here, if I bring all the products, I'm going to take 10 or less away, and I'm going to bring all the products here. Okay, add all members. I have here all the products, right? But I may have, let's see, I'm going to order it this way. In order to see, I'm going to bring 10 or less too. Okay, let me see. And I'm going to order. So here we have 10 or less, which are the ones that are included. But if I take away product, I'm going to have only 10 or less and other. Well, I think it is a little bit confusing. Let's do it with something less, with less items. For example, let's do it with category, cities. Let's use cities. Well, cities are also a lot of them. Customer product segments, shipping subcategories. Well, subcategory. I'm going to take subcategory here. Well, here. and and this is subcategories, which are many, and I'm going to order it from the highest to the lowest. Binders are the most sold items in our company. Incredible, isn't it? Paper furnishings are the following, and I mean the followers, and I want to group from chairs to copiers, right? So I'm going to do a group. I may click here, then mark it all, and clock, remember clock, and group. That's it. Now we have something that may show us which are the ones that are into one group or other which are not into one group. Okay, now I want to see, for example, by the segment. So I'm going to bring the segment here. Okay, and we can see that in each segment there are the colors that identify if there are items out of the group or into the group. Now I'm going to group all of the rest. Let's see. I'm going to group. Okay, now they have another color. And I'm not going to divide it by the segment, by the subcategory, segment, right? I'm going to bring the group. Remember, the groups are identified by a little clip beside, like this one. And I'm going to look for the subcategory groups. I'm going to bring them here. Well, I'm going to take away this and subcategory group. Well, I'm going to take this way away and this way away too. Okay, subcategory group. Sure. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to take away subcategory. Now we have the two groups, right? So I can analyze how each group is behaving. For example, quantities, right? So I bring quantity here, and this is the number of items we have sold of that group, right? Of subcategories. Now, I can also name the subcategories in order to understand them much better. So I'm going to click here and ID group, and I'm going to rename it. I can click and another click, and I can say group 1 and click here, another click, and group 2. Okay, right? Okay, now I have group 1 and group 2. Well, I may identify it like, I don't know, a group of office items and technology items or whatever, and depending on the subcategory I'm analyzing. Let's see, I'm going to put the category, the subcategory here. So accessories pertain to group 1, appliances to group 2, and so on. Okay, I'm going to order it in order to see all groups 1 or all group 1 items and all group 2 items. Okay, but in order to be practical, I can exclude the subcategory and analyze it by group. Sometimes, for example, in a company of, I don't know, car selling, you can differentiate between vans and all-terrain vehicles and family vehicles and lorries and I don't know, and group them together in order to see how each of the items sold are behaving, right? Okay, now let's see the next topic, which is hierarchies. Hierarchies are very interesting. As a matter of fact, we have one hierarchy, difficult word for me, hierarchy, um, which is brought from the LT cities automatically because it is a group or a hierarchy that uh, is together in the LT or the table, the lookup table, country, state, and city. The country includes the states, and the states include cities. Therefore, it is a hierarchy. If I bring country to rows, click here, you are going to see that it keeps or it has a little plus sign beside the name of the item. Okay, meaning that I can open it and it is going to show me the state, and open it and it is going to show me the city. Therefore, it is a hierarchy. And we can analyze, for example, I just want the state, so I can take away the country and take away the city, right? Of course, we could have bring only the state, of course. But even when I bring the state, as it is a hierarchy, I'm going to bring it here. It is going to show me that it includes cities or excludes cities. If I click on the plus or on the less sign, right? Okay, now I have states by subcategories, right? Okay, but I can create hierarchies. For example, I can say that, let's see, category and subcategory. Let's see, where is it? Subcategory are, let me see, where am I? I may create a hierarchy, right, with category and subcategory. Let's see. So I may leave it that way, or I may mention or rename it like cat, cat subcat. Okay, okay, there we are. So now we have a hierarchy, which is cat subcat. Let's see how it works. I'm going to take away subcategory group, and I'm going to bring category to beside the state. And as you can see, there is a plus here, so I can open it to include the category, the subcategory. Okay, so, oh, I'm so sorry. Sometimes my dogs bark a lot. That is what I call a concert, meaning a dog concert. Well, so category now is a hierarchy together with subcategory. And I may add some other items to that new hierarchy. Like, for example, let's see if I can do the segment. I'm going to add it to, let's see, hierarchy, add to a hierarchy. It recognizes that we have a cat subcat hierarchy, so I'm going to add it to subcategory, to that hierarchy. And now subcategory has a plus. So if I click on it, it is going to show me the segment, okay, for each of the items that we sell. Okay, so let's close category. I can see only category. It's kind of a filter, right? I can see all of them or just one of them. For example, I can click on category and then on subcategory, but I just want the category but not the subcategory. So I click and drag the subcategory here, and we have only category and segment. Okay, right. That's it. So those are hierarchies, which are very useful to open or close information. For example, I can click on the less and then on the plus, and subcategory will appear again. even though I had taken it away. Okay, so here we have what a hierarchy is, and we can make many hierarchies and many groups in order to manage information. For example, I'm going to take away the state, and I'm going to bring the subcategory group. Let's see what happens. Here we have group 1, and the group 1 has category and subcategory and a segment, okay, and group 2. So I can close to see just the category. Group 1, of course, both groups have furniture, office supplies, and technology, but it is just an example for you to see how we can manage groups together with categories in order to get information. We could, for example, group cities or group customers depending on certain, for example, investments our customers do in our company, or certain items they buy, or a certain kind of, how can I say that, condition we have with those customers. Okay, all right. Okay, now we're going to manage dates. Dates are very important because you may analyze a lot of things with dates. Dates is our next topic, dates management. Let's see. I'm going to bring some information to this table, like for example, the quantity. Well, I have already the quantity. I'm going to bring, for example, the order date after group. That's it. So there are many dates. And as you can see, dates is a hierarchy. So I can open it to quarters, to months, to days, and I can analyze it by many of them. For example, a year. So I take away quarters. I may take away it, um, um, sorry, dragging it quarter. I don't want quarters. I'm interested about months, and I don't want days. I'm not interested about days. So I have for group 1 in the year 2014, for the month January, February, March, and so on, in the category that this quantity of items sold. Okay, so dates are hierarchies, and these hierarchies are also manageable in such a way that I can take away some part of the hierarchy and analyze only one part. For example, I just want by months, so I take away years, and I have months here, to analyze how each of the months is behaving. Let's see if I can, instead of having quantity here, let's see, bringing quantity to columns, let's see, in order to have a graph, right? And I'm going to take away category and leave only groups, right? And see how they are behaving for each of the months. Here we have to mention something that we haven't studied, which is Tableau suggests a kind of graph depending on the items or data we have. And here, where it says show me, we have many of the graphs Tableau manages, and it suggests that in this case it is better to have one line. The recommended one is a one line, but we can use whatever we want. For example, this one, right? And take month to rows in order to organize the information this way. For I'm going to close show me, and group 1 and group 2 for each of the months, and we are going to organize. What is the best selling month? November, December, September, October. The worst, February, January, April, March, right? The same for group 2. December is one of the best months of our company. No, I mean, the winter time, so, right? From October, from autumn. But as you can see, we don't have here June and July. So it means that I don't know, see, we have but the lower sales. And here, let's see, yes, in the middle. Okay, the fact is that from May to October, our sales get down, right? So we have to analyze it in order to see how to, I don't know, rise the sellings of our company, or changing products, or selling other things that may be interesting for people during summer. Seasons things like, for example, I don't know, bat suits or whatever. And um, therefore, we have uh, the dates, analyzing items, or we can analyze dates in such a way that we may analyze by years, by by days, by months. Let's see by days. What days are the best? So I'm going to open month and take away month to see. Day, day 20, day 20. So the best selling day is the 20th day. Hmm? And the worst is the 10th. Why? I don't really know. I know the worst is the 6th day. But I can also, let's see, change it to day, in order to see day order, date. Oh no, this is not the way. Day. Let's see if I can change it to see the name of the day, week number, weekday. This is all right. So how did I do that? Click on the little triangle, went to more, and instead of week number, I pressed on weekday. So let's see, I'm going to order descendantly. So the best day is on Monday for group 1, and of course also for group 2. Monday and Friday are the best selling days, right? So what is going on? Well, whenever you're analyzing a business, you don't focus on the best days, but on the worst days. What is going on with them? So what happens on Wednesdays? Tuesdays, Thursdays, but the group 2 is also very low in every day, I think, right? So we have to focus on group 2. Something is going on with group 2. And here is when where we start analyzing information in order to get that information to make decisions. So we have to make decisions about group 2, right? Okay. I don't know what decisions. We have to analyze more information. For example, what kind of items we are selling on those groups, and why people buy more on more of those items than the other ones. Why people buy more on Mondays. Okay. Okay. One thing I forgot to tell you was to change. I'm going to save this file. Save. Let me see. Here I am, class 8. Okay. Visualization, visualization, intermediate visualization and processing. Okay, that's it. Now, of course, we can analyze many dates. Like, for example, I'm going to take away the, well, I'm going to click, and I'm going to take again the date. What is my date? Date. Here we are, order date. Well, you can see that this is not a hierarchy. but it works as a hierarchy. Okay, so let's take it this way, right? And it shows me years. Let's see. Every year has been very low in this group. So let's see what kind of items we are having trouble with. Let me see. Group subcategory. Okay, I'm going to put the subcategory. The subcategory. Let me see. Oh, no. What subcategory? LT subcategory group. ID subcategory. Oh, no, this is well. Let me see. Open. Group 1. Well, don't worry. The fact is that here we have how they behave. And what is going on is what we have to look for. For example, analyzing what kind of products we have been selling. So I may bring the products for these groups. And we can say that for group 2, this is group 2. I'm going to organize it, sort it from the highest to the lowest. There it is. Okay. And field, set some quantity. Well, it's okay that way. I'm going to filter. Let's see. Groups. Subcategory. There we are. Okay, and I want to see group 2 only. And I want to show the group, show filter. Okay, so here we are. Analyzing each product. For example, this one grew from 2016 to 2017 very much. So that is what we have to analyze whenever we are going to tell a story, in order to analyze the happenings that led us to have those results and to lead us to the future. As I told you in the first class, we are predicting the future. We want to predict the future. Okay. Right. Now we are going to change. I'm going to save this. Now we are going to change the language. As you can see, we have it in English. The classes before, we had used it in Spanish. But if you want to change it, you go to Help, choose Language, and I'm going to change it to Spanish again. Right? Of course, Tableau is going to tell me, it's going to close it and reopen it. But sometimes it tells me you have to close Tableau in order to change the language. Now I have it in Spanish. Let's change it to French. French from France. Let's see. Parlez-vous français? Alors, je ne sais pas français. Therefore, I have to change it to, look at, it is in French now. Add, choisir la langue, and Español. I'm going to leave it in English, United States English. Okay? Thank you very much for your kind attention. And what I want you to do is to make exercises. And in 2 or 3 days, I'm going to put 10 questions for you to answer with this knowledge you have got in this class. So be careful. Study slowly, carefully, and make good exercises, many exercises, as many as you can. And then you're going to answer some questions that you may find useful, or you may find that your boss or someone in the company will need for you to analyze. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention, and I'll see you next class.